Is this you? But you want to be this.
Yeah, you know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat. Hey, you know I'm a beast. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast. My whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat. Hey, you know I'm a beast.
Can I run up the score, run up the board, breaking the mold? Ay, ay, walking the door, you know what happened? We step on the floor. Ay, ay, coming from on, you don't want partners, you already know it. Ay, ay, come on, mind to it, you already know I'm finna go do it. Ay, yeah, I'm live.
Then this is the guide for you. The main grapple I'm going to cover here is the sturdy grapple, as it's at least the best early game grapple you can get until level 45 when the flotillion grapple comes out. But anything you can do with the sturdy, you can do better with the flotillion. So just by learning the sturdy, you're going to be able to do the flotillion just fine. I'm going to briefly show the Nomad grapple as it's usable, just not really reliable for anything more than basic movement. I'm not really going to cover the makeshift as it's just kind of ass, or the long or fast grapples, as I consider those more of a unique preference rather than meta. You can move well enough with the Nomad around with enough grapple points. Just don't rely on it to get you out of a pinch. The trick is to aim for a high point of anything you're looking for to grapple, like this. The high points are going to give the most momentum from the arc swing to gain speed. Using that momentum to carry us from tree high point to high point best we can. Here also a good strat is start to mentally plot out the path you're going to take. That way it can help you efficiently get from point A to point B. We lose the Nomad as soon as we get out of the cradle and move to the medium maps and transition over to the sturdy grapple. The sturdy's cheap, so it won't take long to obtain it. I'm going to do a quick sturdy grapple example through the valley here. I've mentally plotted my path and used the high points to help me speed through the valley here. Notice here the angle I release. It's about a 45-degree angle. This angle gives you a great speed boost. Much higher than this, you start to lose a lot of your speed at the cost of altitude. Now combining the wingsuit with the grapple, I'll give a quick demo stopping at key points to explain what I do. Only pop the wingsuit when you know you're going to fall short. The quick little upspin here gives me the additional altitude I need. All it takes is a little updraft. The little updraft here causes me to lose a lot of speed. Best way to view the wingsuit with the grapple is the grapple is for speed and the wingsuit helps with the course correction and closing the gaps when you fall short. The wingsuit shouldn't be the primary method of getting around quickly, you should rely on your grapple for that. Quick boosts like that can give me just enough ground to cover the distance I need without sacrificing much speed. This is a good example of how to close the gap when you lose any solid grapple points to work to. Use the wingsuit to do a course correct. Cycling the wingsuit lets me gather more speed while trying to cover this gap. Here's another example of how to cycle the wingsuit to cover gaps you would otherwise fall short of. One last example of a good gap closer move. trick to walker grappling is hitting the tip of the wing and using the momentum to coast onto the deck. One thing to consider while doing this is not holding the E button for your reel in the entire time, otherwise you can very easily whip jumping onto the walker. Instead, hit your grapple point, reel in for a few seconds, and then let your WASD keys guide you onto the deck of the boat. With a little bit of practice, you should be going from the ground to the deck of your boat with no problem. This is what it can look like if you hold your reel in key the whole time, not giving yourself the long angles of the grapple to work for you. Even with good angles, without proper management of your reel in key, it's very easy to have it become very difficult to reliably jump on your walker. Grappling to bases is the same concept as walkers. You want to balance the reel in speed with your angles to have smooth landing on a base. The more clutter a base has, however, the trickier that can be. One trick you can do to land on the target is called a grapple stop. Meaning, if you're going to overshoot the point in which you want to land, shoot your grapple down to slow down your momentum to land faster. This can be risky though. If you have too much momentum, then there's a chance you take fall damage while doing this. But this trick is good to rapidly get back to a point on your walker if in a PvP situation, or just to create distance from another player. I just want to show an example of doing the dingy wings real quick, especially the small ones, because I know this one gives a lot of players difficulty to accurately do. This is a neat trick that allows you to gain a lot of altitude by rapidly spamming the kick key. It's a really good technique for scouting a large area pretty quickly. The last technique I'll show here is of a rapid grapple. This means not always your angles or your speed are going to work in your favor, and you need to readjust not just your direction but the speed as well. So here's an example of how that works on structures and chips as well, by quickly engaging and disengaging the grapple around an object to help slow me down and start to angle me in the direction I desire. In summary, use the grapple's angles to create either speed or altitude. The angle right around 45 degrees seems to provide the best for speed. Remember to aim for the high points on trees or structures to give the best use of your grapple's length and momentum. And don't forget the tips on the wings of the walkers while not spamming the reel in key. The wingsuit is a great tool to complement the grapple. For most situations, it's great for course correction or closing the gap. But using the wingsuit also reduces your speed the longer you use it, so depending on the situation, make sure you correctly manage those two effectively so you can speed around the map. Use some of the techniques I showed you with the quick bursting of the wingsuit in the air to help you close those gaps or slow down on the walkers or structures. The primary thing to remember is it's all about speed, velocity, and angles in which you engage your grapple to get the best results. Grapple PvP is what starts to separate some of the good players, but the really higher tier players, as anyone can learn to fight on the ground on a boat deck to some degree, but a smaller number of players are able to expand on that skill set with a combination of the wingsuit and the grapple. I'll give some of the basics of how that's done with ground grappling, as there's no secret sauce outside of just practice to become really good with it. For grapple basics, you want to find a point at the max length of your grapple's reach that is just past your targets. Remember though, if you aim too close to your targets, or your NPCs, and hit them instead, you'll lose their grapple point. Next, I prefer to let go my W key and use either my E reel in, or both the E and S key in combination to get that push towards the target. Another nice trick you can do with a ground grapple is an escape move. It's normally done by finding a point a little closer to you, and using a quick grapple, W key, and jump to create space. This is often used to create space to get out of a quick jam, and often that'll give you enough time to find an additional escape route. The grapple can be used the same way on a boat, like I use here to quickly close a gap for a strike. Just one more time in slow motion so it can be seen a little easier. Now we will view a few examples of using a grapple on a ship. The trick here is to balance the reel in and reel out to swing at the target on the deck as so. Here, even though he misses the target, is a good example of reeling out as you line up your target. The target here just happened to jump at the last second to avoid the hit. This is called the bunny hop. It's done by spamming the jump key as your feet touch the ground in order to carry the momentum to create more distance between you and another player. This is very effective to give you enough room to either like pop a bandage or make an escape. By practicing and applying these PvP grapple tips, we're sure to enhance your gameplay. So please in the comments let me know if any of these tips or tricks helped you out. And thank you for watching.